I'm Gabe. This is Adam. This is Seth. I'm going to see Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Sure, why not?
So is there anybody actually in this movie?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. Some guy plays Abraham Lincoln. I'm sure someone else plays not Lee Harvey Oswald. What's the guy who killed Lincoln?
Oh, come on.
The original model slash actor.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I can't remember this.
I keep thinking Jack Earl Haley, but it's not Jack Earl Haley.
Oh my god.
This is embarrassing. We're cutting this whole thing out. This is embarrassing, and we're not putting this on camera. And then there's the guy who killed Lincoln, of course, whose name I know, but I'm just not saying.
Yeah, I think that the only person in this movie I remember is there's the dude who played the bad guy in A Knight's Tale.
Rupert Murdoch.
Rupert Murdoch?
No, that doesn't.
John Murdoch, you mean?
Yeah, Murdoch was his name in the movie, but Rupert Murdoch, who the is Rupert?
I have no idea.
No, he's the guy who runs like Time Warner Cable or something. I am way off today.
Yeah, but his name's Murdoch in Dark City.
Yeah, John Murdoch in Dark City. So that's where the confusion. At least I had some legitimate confusion there. Jack Earl Haley. Though Jack Earl Haley would be a great assassin, I think. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, no kidding.
If he decided to kill somebody, that person's dead.
He'd do it right.
And he's got the name for it.
What else? I don't know anything about this movie. It's directed by the guy who directed Wanted, which you didn't really like.
I loved Wanted. How are you going to hate on Wanted?
Who was hating? No one was hating. Said I didn't really like it.
You want a movie to hate on by this guy? Hate on Daywatch. Daywatch goes, man.
What was Daywatch?
Daywatch was the sequel to Nightwatch. Nightwatch was great. Daywatch just sucked.
I've read the book, the Vampire Hunter, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter book.
I'm kind of shocked that they made it into a movie because it seemed more like a novelty book. Like one of those books you buy but never read.
I am not stoked about this movie.
I know nothing about it. It seemed like a kind of cult classic novelty book to me. Like a bunch of people that were the first people to like zombie movies all bought.
I think it was more mainstream than that. I think it was.
That's the way I feel about it. I don't know anything about it, but that's what I feel.
I think it was mainstream stuff trying
to look
to
like
seem
that.
Culty.
Well, obviously, because they made a
and the book clearly made enough money to justify a movie.
Has anybody else read any of his other stuff? The guy who wrote Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
I read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
You did?
I read most of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Was that any good?
It was okay, but it was a novelty book, you know? It wasn't written like a great story. It was written like, hey, let's work zombies into Pride and Prejudice, and then people will buy this. It was actually played fairly straight, as if Jane Austen had written a zombie novel, but the writer wasn't as good as Jane Austen. Jane Austen's a fantastic writer.
They definitely played Vampire Hunter real straight in the book. There was no humor about the situation whatsoever. The funniest thing about it is the front cover is the classic pose of Lincoln. Yeah. You can see the bloody axe sticking up over his shoulder. But other than that, there's very little humor. There is some, but it's not like played as comedic.
A thing like that just feels like it would have to be played real campy or humorously, because speaking from the perspective I would write it as, okay? If you played it straight, it just wouldn't be interesting to read. My adherence to style would demand that I...
Went a little Sam Raimi with it or something?
That I either did that or went so straight with it that it read like a textbook.
You know, it kind of does actually a little bit. You can tell that he's a real stickler about historical accuracy throughout the whole thing, and so it's like reading a history lesson, but it's not, because you can't tell which of the facts are real and which ones were made up for the sake of the vampire story.
Man, I haven't had any coffee today. I walked 7 miles. I'm going to get back to Vampire Hunter, and I'm going to be like, I don't know. I fell asleep at 7 restful.
I don't think restful is what we're looking for in an Abraham Lincoln Vampire.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think the exact opposite of restful is what I'm hoping.
I have no idea. All I have is the title, and so I don't even know what I'm expecting.
Well, I've seen the previews.
I haven't seen any previews.
It's basically what you would expect when the director of Wanted and Nightwatch takes on Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. At least that's the way the preview looks.
So you're a fan of Wanted, is it? You stoked?
Not really, just because the premise doesn't really have me excited. But you know, the truth is, Wanted didn't have me excited either. I think we got it because my wife wanted to watch it. And I actually ended up enjoying it a lot. That might be because of lowered expectations, but I have lowered expectations for this as well. So,
Yeah, lowered.
I feel nothing.
what did you just say?
I said, yeah, lowered. That's one way to put it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said, yeah, lower them.
It's probably a good idea.
My hope for it would have been that it would be a little more steampunky. It looks like the approach they took with it was kind of like Abraham Lincoln Wanted, which does not excite me at all. Because in the universe of Wanted, all that stuff kind of worked because they had a logic to it. But if this is supposed to be our Abraham Lincoln, this is supposed to be the real reason for the Civil War and all that stuff, why is he like flipping off of buildings and stuff like that? It just doesn't make sense.
I haven't seen any previews, so that sounds hilarious.
No, it could be hilarious if they play it real campy. If they play it real straight, it could be horrible.
I don't know, maybe he's like, you know, your typical half vampire hunter.
No, because it's got a scene of him delivering the Gettysburg Address right in broad daylight.
Yeah, but I mean...
Well, maybe if he's like
Wesley Snipes could have put the Gettysburg Address in broad daylight.
I don't think Wesley Snipes can pronounce half the words in the Gettysburg Address.
He would have done it with some kick-ass hair, too. He would have had, like, lines shaved into his hair saying the Gettysburg Address. That sounds like just a whole ball of awesome to me.
What do they call those lines again? They have a name for them.
I don't know what they're called.
No, I looked it up
They're
once.
called Vanilla Ice lines.
No, I looked it up the other day for a blog post or something. They might be called tram lines. It's something lines.
Yeah, douche lines. They're called douche lines? Well, if they're not, they
That's
should
what
be.
they're called. They're called douche lines. So if you go to your hairdresser, ask for douche lines.
Alright, so Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Here we
I
go.
am so not thrilled about this movie.
I don't know. It can't be any worse than Battleship. The preview for this movie is better than Battleship, so I can say that much for
Just
it.
the preview is a better experience in Battleship.
Yep.
How is that a gauge? That's like saying,
Well, it's like you look
that's
at
like saying,
absolute
oh yeah,
zero.
dental surgery is better than getting your ripped off.
It's like you look at
It still
absolute zero,
sucks.
and it helps you appreciate how bad you don't have it.
I guess that's true.
Once you've seen the bottom of the pit, everything else is up.
I'm just trying to put a positive spin on the situation.
I am.
I think I brought
I'm trying
the
to be
Nickelback
positive.
situation up.
Yeah, you for that, by the way.
I think I brought it up to say that the chances of us reviewing very many good movies are low. This is an evil mission that we've
Suddenly it
started.
all makes sense.
The chances that we are actually going to see something good are very low.
When half the country, when Nickelback
Nickelback is the second most popular band.
That's
since
what
we-
America is demanding. Nickelback and Transformers.
Exactly. So the chances of us watching a fantastic movie that's been funded by people that are in control of that stuff is low. It's low.
Alright, let's go.
All right.
I'm gonna be late.